The production possibilities curve is used to illustrate production for an economy as a whole. All goods and services produced in an economy are divided into two categories, such as capital goods and consumer goods. By convention, we put capital goods on the vertical axis and consumer goods on the horizontal axis. A production possibilities curve for an entire economy will not have a constant slope. The slope will bow outward from the origin. The slope is changing and increasing as we move down the production possibilities curve. This changing, increasing slope demonstrates increasing opportunity costs. This is a production possibilities schedule for Northlandia, an entire economy. And in this production possibilities schedule, this economy can choose to produce wheat or bulldozers. And I've noted a few production possibilities points for this country. For example, if this country chose to produce nothing but bulldozers, it would have enough resources to produce 8 of them and no wheat. And we could say that this would be production point A. If they chose to do with 2 less bulldozers and produce 6, they would have enough resources to produce 7 million bushels of wheat. And we'll call that production point B. If they give up 2 more bulldozers, they can produce 12 million bushels of wheat. Giving up 2 more bulldozers will get them 15 million bushels of wheat. And finally, if they want to use all of their resources toward wheat, they can't get any bulldozers, but they can produce 17 million bushels of wheat. These production points are shown on the curve to the right. The first point is where we have no wheat and 8 bulldozers. That would be point A. Point B shows 7 million bushels of wheat and 6 bulldozers. And we have points C, D, and E plotted also. Notice that this production possibilities curve is bowed outward from the origin and has a changing slope. The first segment coming down the production possibilities curve has the shallowest slope, and each segment after that, the slope increases. The segment between B and C is steeper than A and B. The next segment between C and D is steeper still, and the last segment is the steepest. And this demonstrates that the opportunity cost is increasing also. What we want to do next is figure the opportunity cost for wheat on the segment between A and B and compare it to the segment between B and C to see that the more wheat that is produced, the higher the opportunity cost. And we'll also figure the opportunity cost for the next segment and the next segment to show the more wheat that's produced, the more it will cost. To figure the opportunity cost, we'll take 2 points and we'll figure what is given up and divide it by what is gained. Or we can just say what we paid and divide it by what we got. Let's work on the first segment and let's figure out the cost of each million bushels of wheat between points A and B. We'll need to figure out what is given up between points A and B and divided by what is gained. So between A and B, it looks like we have a loss of 2 bulldozers. So up here I'll say a loss negative 2 bulldozers, I'll say BD, and we have a gain, I'll put a plus here, of 7 million bushels of wheat. So over next to our formula, we'll say that we lost 2 bulldozers between points A and B, and we'll divide it by what was gained, which was 7 million bushels of wheat. A negative 2 divided by 7 is a negative 0.286, and the answer is labeled in whatever unit is in the numerator. So it's 0.286 of a bulldozer. It seems kind of strange to think about it this way, but this is the right answer. For 1 million bushels of wheat, this economy had to give up only a portion of a bulldozer, 0.286 to be exact. Now, if they want more wheat, it's going to cost more. So let's look at the opportunity cost for wheat between B and point C. Looks like there's going to be a loss of 2 bulldozers, and there's going to be a gain from here to here of 5 million bushels of wheat. So over in our formula, the economy gave up 2 bulldozers, and they got 5 million bushels of wheat, which is a negative 0.4 bulldozer. From point B to C, 1 million bushels of wheat had a cost of 0.4 of a bulldozer. The opportunity cost from point C to point D of wheat will again be what was paid, 2 bulldozers, divided by what was gained. And it looks like 3 million bushels of wheat. Between C and D, the economy had to give up another 2 bulldozers, but this time only gained 3 million bushels of wheat. This gives us an opportunity cost of 0.667 bulldozers. Let's figure out what the last production of wheat would cost from D to E. A loss of 2 bulldozers and a gain of 2 million bushels of wheat. We'll put the loss of bulldozers in the numerator and the gain of 2 million bushels of wheat in the denominator. -2 divided by 2 is a -1 bulldozers. For 1 million bushels of wheat, this economy had to pay 1 bulldozer between points D and E. Okay, all this work did have a point, and the point is this right here. In the beginning, when the economy wanted to purchase or wanted to produce its first bushels of wheat and move from point A to B, the economy only had to pay 0.286 of a bulldozer. And as it wanted more, say from point B to C, it had to give up more. The opportunity cost was higher. And if it wanted even more wheat from point C to D, the opportunity cost increased. And the last bushels of wheat had the highest opportunity cost. In an economy, the more that's produced of a given product, the greater the opportunity cost. The first few units of any product are made with the best suited resources. After the best resources are used up, additional production will be made with resources that aren't as well suited. This causes the cost to rise. Let's look at wheat production in our own state. The first few bushels of wheat produced in Washington might be grown somewhere like the Palouse. Palouse because it has the right land, soil, weather, machinery, skilled labor to produce wheat at a very low cost. If the Palouse were producing at capacity and more wheat was desired, additional production would have to take place in an area which is not as well suited to grow wheat as the Palouse is. For example, central Washington. This would mean that the cost of producing the next bushels of wheat, say in central Washington, would be higher. As more and more wheat is desired, the more it will cost, as we must employ resources which are less suited to production.